Hi, I'm John Cash. Welcome to John Cash Ministries and Revelations Church's Daily Devotion. Today, I want to talk about the Tower of Babel and the lessons that we can learn from the Tower of Babel. For those who are not familiar with the story, I'm going to read from Genesis 11, verses 1 through 7. Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves and not be scattered over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower that the men were building. The Lord said, "If, as one people speaking the same language, they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language so that they will not understand each other." Now, folks, this occurred after the great flood. And we have basically a people of one accord. Or, in other words, people who spoke one language over the entire earth. It was one culture. Now, you might wonder, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with having the entire world having one culture, one language? Well, the problem is that Satan is the god of this world, small g. He has control over most of the world. It's limited, but he has majority control at this point. And when the whole world comes together as one, then evil prospers. That's the bottom line. Evil begets evil. Sin begets sin. It spreads like wildfire. And so what God saw when he saw these people doing this is he saw them trying to make a name for themselves. In other words, this culture was full of ego, pride, and arrogance, self-sufficiency, that they didn't need God. They were going to do everything themselves. And that was a problem for God, as it is today, if we have this type of attitude. So they begin this building project, making a tower to reach to the heavens. What do you think that means? It means that they were thinking to themselves, we're so great, we're like God. God saw this. He was not happy. Now, you might wonder how this might relate to the end times. Well, folks, understand this. One day, the whole world's going to come together under one umbrella, one political umbrella, under one financial umbrella, under one religious umbrella, and under one cultural umbrella. And when that happens, the Bible says the Antichrist will take control. What's keeping the world from ending biblically? What's keeping the Antichrist from controlling the whole world? All the different cultures, all the different ideas, all the different languages. One day, when it comes together, due to technology and the ability to communicate, that is when Satan takes over. So you can see the parallel between the Tower of Babel and the end times. Now, I want you to focus a little bit on the Lord's reaction to all of this. In verse 5, it says, "But the Lord came down to see what they were building. And he said, as people speaking as one," watch this, "nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them." Now, what were they planning on doing? Well, they were planning on kicking God to the curb. And that's the key. They were planning on doing things their way. What did God say right at the beginning of Genesis? But to go out into all the earth, scatter about, and subdue the earth. What were they going to do? They weren't going to scatter around. They weren't going to obey God. They were going to create one huge world city. And God saw this. He saw the arrogance, and he said, "I'm going to put an end to it." So what does he do? The Bible says he came down and he confused their language. Now, folks, understand the reason that we have different countries today, different cultures and different languages, is because thousands of years ago, according to the Bible, God created it that way. Now, why did he do this? At any given time, there are evil cultures that are following Satan, and there are somewhat godly cultures that are following God. If the whole world comes together as one, what culture do you think is going to win out? The answer is the evil ones. And so God has different cultures and countries, watch this, to protect the gospel of Jesus Christ, to protect his word, to protect his ways. And so he confused the languages way back then We still have this set up today, and understand that one day we're going to return to this Tower of Babel where the whole world's going to come together and want to do something amazing. And that's going to be, of course, the Antichrist taking over the world and filling the world with his form of morality, which, of course, is called immorality in the Bible. God bless you. Thank you for your support of John Cash Ministries and Revelations Church.